Hey guys, this is Eric, the App Pro, and right now I have a very special interview for you. I'm actually going to share with you an interview with my diet coach, the man who helps me get ready for my competitions and photo shoots, Sam Bakhtiar. Now Sam is not just any diet coach, he's actually the coach of coach, the trainers of trainers, Mr. Los Angeles in 2005, and the only bodybuilder in history to win first place in every single weight class. He is a well sought after individual in the fitness industry, and I'm very lucky to have been able to work with him and also to have such a great relationship with him and his family. I hope you guys find this information useful. Like I said, this guy is the guy who gets me ready for my competitions, and I want you to get to know him and learn from his experiences, because he's definitely spent a lot of time in the fitness industry, and as I mentioned, a lot of people really want to talk to this guy. So without further ado, Dr. Sam Bakhtiar, and be sure to check back with the App Pro. Thanks a lot.
Alright, here we go. First question is, how and when did you start training?
Oh man, that's a good question, Eric. I started training when I was 14 years old. And the reason I started training is because, my sport when I moved to the United States, was soccer. And I moved to a little town called Sharon, PA, Pennsylvania. And, I started shooting my soccer ball around, and they were like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm playing football." And they're like, "That's not football, this is football." So obviously, they didn't have a soccer team or anything like that, so I was kind of bored, didn't know what to do. So I started, watching a couple of Sylvester Stallone movies, a couple of Arnold movies, and I'm like, I want to look like him. So then I started, working out around 14.
Awesome. And I guess what are the top 3 tips you would give to someone who's looking to get six-pack abs?
Well, this is a no-brainer. Diet is everything. You can work out till the cows come home, but if you want to see your six-pack, then you gotta make sure your diet is correct. That's what a lot of people do. All those sit-ups, all those crunches, all that kind of stuff. It's going to build you a nice stomach muscle. But if it's covered up, you can't see it. A lot of you guys that are watching this already have some nice muscles underneath there, believe it or not. But once you shed the fat is when you're gonna start seeing it. I never knew that I had nice stomach muscles. So the first time I see them, I'm like, wow, I actually have pretty nice abs. It was right underneath here all these years. I didn't know. So that's number 1. Number 2 is you don't need to do a ton of cardio and do that, because in the long run you actually are shooting yourself in the foot. So when it comes out, you gotta always actively build muscle. Because muscle is what's going to give you a long-term metabolism, and the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn. A lot of people think cardio. Yeah, you got to do some cardio, and you might, if you want to get them a little more crisper, you might do a little extra cardio for a limited time. But if you're doing hours and hours and hours of cardio on end, in the long term, you're going to definitely shoot yourself in the foot. The third one will be, so first one will be, get your nutrition straight. Second will be add more muscle at all times, and don't concentrate just doing a lot of cardio. And the third is, I saw it today when I was working out. Matter of fact, when I saw you earlier this in the morning in the gym, I saw a lady, getting a big old kettlebells, and she was doing side bends, And well, if you want to get a nice midsection, remember, obliques are muscles. All right, and if you keep working the muscle, this is what are you going to do? You're going to work them, or you're going to grow them. So you want to make sure that you have a nice trim waist. Not I don't care if it's muscle or fat, if it's sticking out, it's not pretty. So you got to know the right type of ab exercises for you to have the six-pack or the nice tight midsection that we're all looking for.
Very good. Do you have any favorite quotes?
Yeah. Work on your diet harder than you work on you work on the gym. That was the best quote as far as getting a six-pack ab.
In general, do you have difficulty gaining muscle, losing fat, or are you one of those genetic freaks that we all hate?
No, I'm by far, man, not far from a genetic freak. I'm actually probably one of the worst of the worst. I'm what do you call it, ectomorph. you know, when it comes to like my upper body. You know, I admit I'm a kind of a mesomorph for lower body. You know, I could build muscle mass, but I'm definitely an endomorph in the midsection. You know, I mean, I don't have the genetics like you do. You know, I mean, you got to work hard for it too. But I mean, like my midsection's always the last thing to come in, first thing to go. You know, guys walk around, you know, with a 6-pack abs on the, you know, the beach all the time, and I'm jealous of that because I can get there, but I got to work really hard for that 6-pack ab, you know, and you know that's my genetics.
Yeah, no, definitely.